Hi, everybody. It's Dr. Laura Dessauer, the Creativity Queen, and we are just diving into some activities to help us become more aware of ourselves, our energies, our creativity during this time when there's so much transition. I know for those of you who are sensitive types, you're feeling it. We're all feeling it. There's a major evolution happening emotionally, spiritually, physically, and we need some tools, right? This is like uncharted territory. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't think you do either. But I know that collectively we can bring ourselves into an alignment of being calm and being more centered and grounded. So I'm going to do a little cognitive processing this time. And I want us to think a little bit about these emotions and sensations and things that are churning us up at this time. I mean, you look at the news, please don't look at the news, but if you look at the news, like, right, what's happening? This is beyond my control. I feel powerless. I feel overwhelmed and helpless. And then our mind starts to get busy. What do I do? What do I do? A few things that we can do, which is to take care of ourselves, to take care of our atmosphere, our energies, and to be more in a calm space, an aligned space, than to be in a reactive space. So one of the things I like to tell the clients I work with is that our emotions are like the weather. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but it makes a lot of sense, right? Here in Florida, there's big storms. They come sudden. It's intense, right? All of a sudden, it's a beautiful afternoon, and then these big storm clouds come rolling through. And it kind of takes us by shock sometimes. Like, where did this come from? Like, I wasn't paying attention to the weather. This wasn't predicted. But there are these big storms that come rolling through, and you can easily get caught in the beliefs of like, this is where I'm at emotionally. Right? I feel overwhelmed with my emotions. I feel the intensity of feelings around sadness and loss or anger, regret or fear, whatever's churning up in these storms. And if we believe that these are our realities, that this will stay or this is driving what's going to happen next, we can be really overwhelmed, right? Like that sensation of fear can just move us into responding with aggression or responding reactively, triggering us to respond in ways that aren't aligned with our highest good and are not good for those around us either. And further increasing more of this atmosphere, right? The rain clouds are getting bigger, the storms are getting bigger when we start to be driven by our emotions and believe that they are the ones running the show. So if we can drop into a place of calm, the eye of the storm, which involves calming ourselves, which is hard to do these days, right? Really hard to do. So dropping in means dropping into the breath. It's also cognitively being aware that this is an emotion. Identifying the emotion. Hello, name it to tame it. I'm feeling so scared. I'm feeling so vulnerable. Naming those emotions, sitting in the center of the storm as around you, these intense emotions are moving, and knowing that they're not forever. As all storms, they come and they go, right? Anxiety doesn't stay forever. I'm sorry, it's impossible. You cannot have a terminal panic attack. It can come, it can go. It's scary as all get out, but you can calm yourself in the midst of the storm, right? So how do you do that? How do I calm myself in the storm? Telling yourself, hey, this one passes, right? All emotions pass. Identifying the emotions. I'm feeling scared. And identifying where it is in your body maybe you're feeling these emotions, these strong, intense storms, right? Because sometimes fear resides in the body and it's palpable. It's present, right? Oh, I can feel it in my chest. It's so tight. I can feel it right here. The worry is in my body. And then identifying, hey, I'm noticing these sensations. I'm noticing these feelings. I'm present with you. Right? I'm present with you. And those little parts of us that are being churned up in the storm. Because when the storm comes and we start to get into our story, we all get into our story. We're human. And the story might be like, he always does this. She's always being this way, right? My boss just continually is like looking at what's negative. I can't believe that this is happening again. We get hooked into the story. And the story is often those repeating stories of when we were younger, right? When we're looking for safety. And maybe those around us weren't able to provide us with the safety that we needed. Maybe the little parts of us felt abandoned by the adults in our lives, abandoned maybe as we got older by ourselves. So in the storm, those little parts are going, where's the safety? Where's the adults? Hello, I'm scared. Shit's going on in the world. It doesn't make sense. I'm overwhelmed. Where's the adults? I mean, it feels like that if you look at the larger political stage. Where are the adults? And so we hold space for these little parts, right? I see you. I see how scary this is. This feels triggering. And if we go back to tracing it, what does this feel like in the past? We can see our stories. It feels like the time that the adults weren't there when I was scared. It feels like the time that I was in middle school and I was rejected and I felt like I couldn't do anything right. So we can see what is being triggered. We can see it, but we can't see it when we're caught in the feelings of it. Oh my gosh, what's going on? What's going on? This storm is happening. It's forever. It's forever. So we have to drop into our body space. That's where the breath is so important. And softening is so important. Dropping into the body space, softening and holding with compassion those parts of us that are feeling activated, identifying, hey, little girl, hey, little boy, I see you. You're scared. And then holding those parts. Because that's what we're not doing these days. We're not holding our parts with love and compassion. We're projecting onto other people. We're wanting other people to do it for us, right? And then we're disappointed or angry. Why aren't they giving me what I need? Why don't they listen? Why aren't they there for me in the way that I need them to be? Why do they keep doing this to me? But that's not the healing work that needs to be done. That's the storm. The healing work that needs to be done is dropping into the body, connecting with those younger parts. I see you. I see you being scared of the uncertainty. I see you trying so hard and it feels like nobody is accepting you. I see how things are changing and that feels really, really scary. And I'm here for you. I got your back. I love you with all your fears. I love you with all your mistakes. I'm here. I'm present with you. I'm not going to abandon you. Others maybe didn't do what you wanted them to do or couldn't do what they should have done, but I'm here. I'm here for you. I got your back. And you're doing a damn good job, right? I can see it. Holding ourselves in that state of compassion, because it doesn't matter then what's happening in the outside world. We can't control that. We think of the circle of control. That outside world, we can't control that. The one inner side of the circles where we think we can control, like our families and our friends and what they should be doing, our coworkers, how they should be handling things. We can't control that either. But we can control what we can control, which is our choices, where we're choosing to put ourselves, what we're choosing to feed ourselves spiritually, feeding ourselves energetically, feeding ourselves food wise, of course, but also feeding ourselves with information. Is it something we can control or something that's out of our control? And if we can't, those storms are happening, but we don't have to get caught out there in the storm. It's not going to help anybody to be standing in the storm, waving your arms around, going, ah, the storm is happening. Or to think that that storm is going to stay there forever. It won't. The sun will come out. Those feelings will move through. I have a little quote in my office. It's on a little sticky thing with a cat on it. It says, it's not a bad life. It's just a bad day. Right? Not a bad life. It's not forever. It's a bad moment. Maybe it's a bad afternoon. Maybe it's a bad week. Maybe it's a bad month, but it's not a bad life. And our rational minds forget that when we're going, the storm's forever. And it does feel like that. It does feel like, I mean, shit be smacking you down, people, right? Like, boom, I think I'm going to get it together. And then boom, more stuff is happening. It's happening to all of us. It's happening to us collectively. And so we drop into, hi, I'm seeing this sadness. I'm seeing this fear. Little parts I'm seeing you activated, and I am the adult here. In my life, may not be in the world, but in my life, I'm going to show up and I'm going to love you and I'm going to sit with your fear and I'm going to hold you in a space of compassion until the storm passes through. And if you're a person of faith, you get to be held doubly. You get to be held with a higher truth as well. The spiritual truth, the divine truth of knowing that you are not alone. The cosmos are holding you. You're being held in this cosmic web of love and compassion. So drop into your center. Let the weather do its thing. Know your feelings. Don't control the show. And they're okay. They are what they are. And if anybody tells you otherwise, don't be feeling that way. Namaste. And let that go, because you are entitled to whatever you're feeling. And this is the work. It's your job. No one else's job. To take care of those feelings, to take care of those parts that are speaking. Nobody else can do it for you. No substance can take that away. Nothing outside of you will ever, ever, ever fill that void. Nothing. And those people who came before you, those adults who raised you or didn't raise you, let that shit go, right? They did what they could. They did what they could. As Louise Hay says, what kind of childhood would an adult have who raised you in the way that they raised you? What kind of childhood did they have? So compassionately release them, because if you don't release them, you can't do the work you need to do to hold your own space. You'll be pointing fingers, blaming, pushing away, fighting against yourself. You'll be fighting them. So compassionately release them however you need to do that. Yes, hold the anger, hold whatever you need to hold, and then release it all with compassion, right? Feel the anger, feel the frustration, feel the abandonment, hold it, and then like confetti, let it go. let it all go. But you have to acknowledge it, of course, right? We can't just be like, oh, well, it was all fine. The childhood was fine. It was all good. And you, whatever you felt, whatever you're feeling, compassion, hold it with compassion and then release it. How do you release it? Getting back into your body, leaning back into your truth that you are there to nurture your babies. You are there to give your inner children what they didn't get. That's our work here. And again, with spirit, spirit is there to assist you in this process. I was working with a group doing a soul retreat, and I said, what's coming up for me is my babies inside of me are little birds. They're birds in a nest and they're chirping, chirp, 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 chirp. They're just chirping. Like I want to be heard. I want to be loved. I want. And I've been neglecting them, right? I haven't been feeding my baby birds. They're chirping, and it's my job to feed my baby birds, right? Just hello, birdies. I see you chirping there. You're scared. You want to know it's safe. I don't know if it's safe, but I see you, right? I see you. So it's my job to feed my baby birds, and it's your job to take care of your birdies or your inner children, and to really hold yourself in a state of compassion as this world goes on, and it's only going to go on more, people. Those of us who can calm the waters with compassion and kindness and drop into our own energy will be the ones that will help calm the storms, help guide the next development, the next evolution, the next up leveling, by us being in this calm place. But we need to do our own work, and we're human, we forget. And we forget again, and we do it again, and we forget again. So I offer you this nugget of kindness and compassion. I hope that it helped. And if you have comments to share, please do so below. And if it's not resonating with you, that's all right. There's lots of other things out there on the internet. So take care of yourself until we connect again.